Hola, hola! My name is Julian Cruz Diaz, and welcome to Una Preguntita. As a Texas Rican, my life has been anything but traditional. I went from studying engineering to farming in Hawaii to building a career in nonprofits before diving into entrepreneurship. Every twist and turn taught me something new. But let's be real, life doesn't come with a manual. In Una Preguntita, we always begin con una pregunta, a question. So dime, have you ever felt like you're thriving in one area of your life while Googling how to be a functioning adult for the rest of it at 2 a.m.? Yeah, been there too. Every week, you and I are diving into the stuff nobody really teaches us. How to actually understand ourselves, build connections that matter, and handle those awkward conversations that keep us up at night. Whether you're figuring out workplace dynamics or trying to level up your emotional intelligence game, we're getting into it. I'm bringing you big questions, tools, and strategies for you to build the life and career you want. No filtered perfection, just honest conversations and practical ways to grow into your unapologetic self. Grab tu cafecito, get comfy, and let's figure this out together. Esto es Una Preguntita, where curiosity and understanding leads to action. Vamos! Okay, amigui. I am so excited for this 10th episode. I have a special surprise for you. Many people have been asking for it, and I said, what the heck? Let's do it. So the surprise is we have a guest today.
Hello. How's everyone doing?
Bienvenido, amigo.
Gracias por tenerme aquí. Good to be here.
Yes. So, Hervin, to give my amigui, our listener, a little background, I'm going to tell them a little about you, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay. So, Hervin Antonio Hidalgo is someone I always knew I've had to have on the podcast. Every time we met up or had one of our feeling our bellies and brains lunches, I leave with a new perspective and always more fire under my butt for the work that we do in leadership. Hervin is the founder of Zeta Coaching, where he helps professionals become the kind of leader others actually want to follow. I'm talking real deal leadership, not just titles and to-do lists, right? Hervin's been on his teaching journey officially for over 5 years, doing work that's all about growth, accountability, and clear communication. I say officially because that's when he became certified in Maxwell Leadership and later in the 5 behaviors of Patrick Lencioni. So if you're wondering, Julian, show me the receipts, he's got them. No, but honestly, what really makes Hervin stand out is how he helps you see yourself differently. He'll ask a question you didn't even know you needed to hear. Whether he's leading group masterminds or coaching one-on-one, he brings corazon, heart, real strategy, and an easy way to digest new lessons through storytelling. So, Hervin, welcome to Una Preguntita. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you for inviting me.
All right, amigo. So, to give you a little background on my podcast, we always get started con una preguntita, a question. Okay?
Sounds good.
So, tu pregunta today is, Hervin, what's your why? Why do you do what you do?
So, the reason that I do what I do is because early on in my career, I remember that I always had this hunger and thirst to want to learn more. I know there was more for me, but I was trying to figure that out. And unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of mentors early in my career that I could learn from and glean from. And when I finally found that person that just took me under their wing and coached me and developed me and really poured out just a lot of knowledge, I said, you know what? I want to make sure that no one ever feels that way, where they feel left out, where they feel that they're trying to figure it out. Mm-hmm. And the reason that I do what I do is because I want to make sure that I help prepare other people for success in their journey, in their career. And I want to be able to be a supporting role in whatever they want to accomplish.
So I have a question. How did you go from wanting to be that role model, that mentor, that role for somebody else, and expand it into Zeta coaching? Like, how did you get from realizing, like, instead of it just being you doing the work, how did you get to that next stage?
Wow, so that's a loaded question because I don't think I would be able to tell you that in such a short amount of time. But the best way I can describe it is that mentor and leader that I had back in 2011. I remember that he believed in me when I didn't even believe in myself. And from there, it stemmed that I wanted to believe in others. I wanted to see the best in others. And the way it transitioned is back in 2017, I was given an opportunity, hired in a role. And that leader of mine at that time really saw the potential in me, and she decided to invest in me. And when she decided to invest in me, to be completely transparent, I got certified through the John Maxwell team, Maxwell Leadership Now, in 2018. And I did not do anything with the certification from 2018 to about 2021. And the reason why I didn't do anything is because I didn't see value in myself. I was certified, but I didn't see value in myself. And the reason why I didn't do anything is, how can I add value to others if I don't see value in myself? But I got out of that funk in 2022, and I decided that I wanted to really pour in, and it was time. And that's how I transitioned into, becoming Zeta coaching now.
Yeah, well, it's been really interesting because it's not just you doing the coaching and the teaching. You've brought on a team of other facilitators that also support in not only your growth. I'm assuming it's a back and forth, but also the growth of our community.
Yeah, and really, when Zeta Coaching was founded, the goal was never to have a team. I'm a firm believer of things happening very organically. I use that word a lot because I've learned to allow things to progress. I do plan, I do have goals, but I allow things to progress. But yes, now we have a team, and it's amazing to be able to work with these wonderful individuals because they add value to me and we complement each other.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, Hervin, my audience is made up of high achieving professionals, and they always like to take away something tangible, a skill that they can show forward, right? So with what you teach, which is around 10 different leadership topics per year, if they only worked on one, which do you believe any rising leader really needs to hone in and develop?
So Developing the Leader Within You 2.0 is a book that John Maxwell wrote years ago. And I would say that's one of the courses that I teach that every young, aspiring professional needs to take. Developing the Leader Within You 2.0, because I believe that we all have some type of leadership within us. But it is our job to continue nurturing that leadership and growing in that leadership and really learning more. So developing the leader within you, you already have it. It's just to continue to developing. I would say that would be the course that I would encourage everybody to take. Yeah. Good foundation.
Okay. I love that. And so I wanted to really transition into this next real talk kind of moment. I wanted to make sure that we touched on this topic because if you, my amigo listening in right now, are anything like me, and honestly, like many others, tough convos can feel big, they feel uncomfortable, and we do the most just to try and avoid them. Like, the conversations you need to have and you need to happen, but maybe it's with a coworker, a friend, or your partner, and you reply in your head, right? You replay this over and over just to prep. But still, when that moment comes, you freeze, or you just smile through it, or you ghost and avoid. And I've definitely done which I do not advise, explode after bottling it up. So I wanted to ask you, Hervin, now that we have you on today, What's the one thing we should not do when we're gearing up for one of these difficult conversations?
I think that we need to avoid getting our emotions and our emotions speaking, because emotions are not bad. Emotions are good. They're part of our personality. But when we allow those emotions to control the conversation, and that's what really hurts us sometimes, is we tend to be frustrated, upset at someone, and we allow that frustration to overtake the conversation. And really, now it's not even about the issue at hand. Now it becomes me attacking you, me being passive aggressive, and we need to avoid. Now it sounds easy to do, but it really isn't.
Right.
And the one tip I would advice I would give people is, if you are wanting to have that tough conversation, there's two types of people. One, that they want to talk about it really quickly, and there's others that rather hold on to it, and then later they either have it or don't have it. And you want to make sure that you check your motives. Checking your motives is very crucial, because sometimes our motives is, I want to win the argument. And it's not about winning, it's about really allowing that conversation to be productive.
Wait. Okay, so you said two parts. The first part was don't let your emotions talk. And the second part is, what are your motives? Those are two steps. You have to check yourself before you even open your mouth. And those are two different parts.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to prepare. I always use the 5P method. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. And preparing for any difficult conversation is crucial. And preparing for something is making sure that you are in a good headspace. Because many times we want to be quick with it, and we must allow time to pass. Now, not too much time. We need to be patient. And a lot of people, they want to have that conversation, and then that conversation goes south.
Yeah. Okay, so walk us through it. How do we, young professionals, leaders in training, humans that just are trying to do better, how do we work through these conversations? Can you give us a framework or a step-by-step as to what my listener can take away and actually apply?
So something that you can apply anytime is, if you know that you have something against someone because they did something or they didn't do something, you have to make sure that you ask yourself, is this going to affect me a year from now? Because many times certain conversations don't affect us in the long term. And here we're worrying about them. So really asking yourself that question, is this something that's going to have a big impact or a big effect in my life, in my professional life, in my personal life a year from now? And sometimes we worry about things that we shouldn't be worrying about. And it's important that we realize, okay, what effect is this going to have? And then the second thing I would say is surrounding yourself with people that are going to help you navigate through these things, because other people may have gone through things that you have yet to walk through.
Right.
So it's very important, again, to make sure that we ask ourselves that question. And then surrounding ourselves with people that have gone through those things is very important. And then the third thing that I would say, that I've briefly mentioned, is checking our motives. Make sure you check yourself before you speak. Because if you speak from a place of hurt, if you speak from a place of frustration, of anger, then most likely that conversation is not going to be productive.
Right. So is there almost like a step-by-step as to what we need to do internally in our brains? Is there like a 1, 2, 3 as to, I do this step, then I do this step, and then I do this step? I know I have a lot of engineers that want the step-by-step or the Excel sheet to talk about it. So is there anything that you personally walk through internally?
So again, to mention it and highlight that again, is checking our motives, asking ourselves those questions. Now, for some people, at that moment, they might not be able to process that because they're so emotional that I could tell you, hey, check your motives, but it's not going to process in that moment, right? So I think that walking away is important. The best thing that you can do sometimes is just silence. Don't speak. Because if you're speaking from that moment of anger or frustration, then more than likely you're going to say something you're going to regret. So if when in doubt, stay silent. It's better for you to stay silent than to speak something that you're going to regret and you won't be able to take back. So I would say that.
Okay. So definitely check in with yourself internally.
Absolutely.
Okay. And give yourself time in order to actually see it from a less emotional way and more of like an actual tangible or actual just what actually just happened.
Yeah.
Okay. So if somebody wants more information on this topic, where can they get support?
So they could visit our website, Zera Coaching. The website is www.hellozera.com, and that's hello, ZERA.com.
Perfect. And is there something coming up for you soon?
Yeah, so we're having a 5-week online masterclass on crucial conversations where we're going to dig deep and we're going to learn a lot more. We're also going to be doing some scenarios with other teammates where we're going to practice actually having those difficult conversations. So it's going to be fun because it's going to be very practical and we're going to get hands-on exercise on having those tough conversations.
I love that. I love that. And it's super interesting because when you are in these settings, you end up learning not only from the instructor, but you also learn from the others around you too. So when somebody shares an experience or when somebody connects the dots and shares it with a group, you end up retaining almost like a higher level of knowledge compared to if you're only reading it like independently or if you're only sitting in class and listening to a professor talk, but there's no sharing with the group. So I love that opportunity that comes from learning from masterminds because you have that opportunity to learn from so many people around you.
Yeah, absolutely. It really enriches the class that there's other people in these classes that are looking to grow and develop themselves.
And if somebody wanted to register, I know that the class is April 22nd, correct? So it's coming up. Do they register online? How does it work?
Yeah, so they would be able to visit our website that I mentioned earlier, and they would be able to look under the events tab, and they would be able to fill out a form, and someone from our team would be contacting them with more details about the upcoming mastermind.
Okay, great. And is there anything special you wanted to promote for our amie that's listening in right now?
Yeah, I was talking before we started the podcast off camera, and I definitely wanted to extend a free masterclass pass to anybody that listens to the podcast because we definitely want to promote the podcast. We want you to subscribe. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. You're in for a treat. But all the listeners, I want to encourage you. We have an upcoming mastermind, and we want to give a free pass on behalf of the Zera coaching team for the 5-week mastermind.
Yeah, thank you, Hervin. So in case you were zooming out, come back to me. So Hervin just offered a free pass, one free pass to any of you, Ami, that is listening. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to email me at heyz@zconecta.com. And so I'm going to go ahead and include my email, Hervin's information in the show notes. So if you are listening right now and want that information and don't have time to take notes on it, just go ahead and scroll down to the bottom and it'll be included down in the show notes. Thank you. I'm so excited for this next mastermind. It sounds like a great treat. All right, Amigi, we have made it to the Curiosity Hour. On the podcast, this is where my family always asks me, Sulian, ¿qué aprendiste? What did you learn? But today, I'm flipping it on you, Hervin. I'm asking you, amigo, what did you learn this week?
So this week, I actually learned that people are quite hungry to want to learn and grow, but specifically in the area of having tough conversations. I think that's a topic that sometimes it's not talked about, but it's very important. And I didn't realize the amount of people that are hungry to want to learn how to have tough conversations in an effective way. We recently had a free webinar, and there were so many people that attended this webinar, and they were engaged, asking questions. And then after the webinar, people just reached out to me. And one of the things that I learned is people are wanting more. There's opportunities to just pour into people. And as through Se Conecta, there's a lot of opportunities for people, for us to pour into people. Mm-hmm. And in addition to that, one of the things that I've learned is that people are very receptive. But it's really the way you package it and the way you present it. It's very important because two people may be, selling the same thing, but one of them is going to be more successful than the other. And I think that there's a lot to understand from that and a lot to learn from that. So it's the way you present it, right? The way you approach it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, think of little kids, right? You want them to sit down and eat, or you want them to get in the shower to get ready. And the way that you package the verbiage is how likely or unlikely they're going to actually execute it, right? And I guess my next question is, as we get older, as we gain more responsibilities in life, somehow balancing our professional growth as well, how do you keep learning? What's been working for you?
I would say surrounding myself with great mentors, great leaders has been my biggest. I read books, I listen to podcasts, I attend leadership conferences, but I think that the one thing that has really helped me grow exponentially is being under great mentorship, great leaders. That is a must for any individual that's looking to grow, develop, and continue moving forward. You have to place yourself under individuals that you trust that will continue to pour themselves into you. Has been a game changer for me. My first official mentor was back in 2015. And I remember that the moment that I came in contact with him, my growth was just through the roof. And since I started that mentorship with him, I began to grow in ways that I never imagined. And to this day, the reason why I am here in the RGV is because of my mentor. So a lot of great things came from mentorship. So I would say mentorship.
No, and that's brilliant because a lot of times we're looking at our schedules and we're like, where am I going to fit in an hour of reading? Where am I going to fit in this XYZ extra thing on my to-do list? And when you automatically surround yourself with mentors, whether it's somebody at work or whether it's somebody that you're going to see in a week or two, that learning is able to be transmitted more organically. And so it's really cool that you found a way in which you can continue to keep learning intentionally, but through others. So thank you, Hervin.
No, thank you.
Thank you for coming on today. As a reminder, amigui tuning in, if you want to tap Hervin or show him support, make sure to connect with him at hellozeda.com for his website. You've only heard a snippet of how to handle crucial conversations, so make sure you don't miss his upcoming mastermind on Tuesday, April 22nd. Links can be found, as I said, down below in the show notes. Bueno, amigui, that is the show. Si te gustó, if you liked it, make sure to share it, rate it, and write a review. ¿Qué aprendiste? What did you take away from today? Como siempre, I'm your amiga Zulian, and I'm sending you off today con un huge abrazo, amigui. Nos vemos en la próxima.